Hello and welcome to the Slingshot Channel. I'm here with Mark Ellenburg, the founder and president of Trumark. Trumark is certainly one of the biggest and oldest slingshot manufacturers in the world. Wouldn't you say so, Mark?
I would agree to that, yes.
Okay. And Mark has agreed to show us the factory and the warehouse. We're very much looking forward to that. Mark showed me where they make the aluminum rods for the slingshot. Quite interesting procedure.
That's one of the advantages we have over there. All the other slingshots are made from steel, and you can't round steel like that.
The rods have to be rounded well.
And then we wash them off over here.
Okay, so next comes the bending. Trumark has all kinds of very fancy machines for doing the job.
But this one, which we unfortunately
so it looks like this. That's the final
Can I hold it?
material. Yeah, sure. We get a bunch of them over there.
You put this,
you want to take
then you
here,
put
right?
that around like that.
And then you simply shoot it like this.
Yep. Alright, so this is how it looks before you do the whole bending. Just put it in there, just bend the ends. So it looks something like this. Put the little rings in there. And this machine works with air pressure. Has little holes right there. Just put those in there. It closes. It bends it a little bit so the rings won't come off.
Some of the Trumark slingshots have the rotating prongs, a very interesting invention.
And the idea behind the revolving prongs is 90% of all slingshots are made where the prong comes back, and then when you shoot it goes like this and puts a lot of stress right here, which causes it to break. To help prevent that, we invented the revolving prong where the rubber goes through and pulls off the other side, so it's pulling straight off the prong rather than an angle. At the same time, that gave us the idea, well, if you had revolving prongs, maybe you could put a sight across here and it would rotate out at the last second and not be hit by the rubbers. And it works. It does not hit the sights. So you can get sights instead of out here on the left where you tend to want to shoot down, you can get them more in the middle where they should be. And then these little different things are for elevation, you know, up, whether you go up or down.
Here is how that looks like in slow motion. This is how they make the pouches from real leather.
It'll cut about 2 or 3 million before.
So these are 3 different band types they use. And these are like the standard yellow bands, non-tapered. And then they have the red tapered bands, which I really like. And you can probably see that they're a lot thinner here at the pouch side than they are at the fork side, which has a number of advantages. One advantage is that they are faster. And the other advantage is that they're probably going to last a little longer. That's what they're saying. Well, I haven't tested it. And these are the strongest bands. And these bands, the black bands, you can't get the slingshot with these bands on. You have to buy these bands extra. And I think it's done because they're so powerful that they don't want to sell the slingshots with them right on. So and they're definitely thicker. So if you compare the thickness of these bands, you can see that the black bands really are thicker.
You mean our one with the stabilizer is legal?
The one with the stabilizer is legal, as long as there's no risk.
Yeah, they don't have risk.
But there was the basic. I like that. Looks like little soldiers.
And if you've never seen a packaging operation, that's how it's done.
Mm-hmm. Look at these steel balls.
Those are 5/16.
And then Mark showed us how he shoots with his own slingshots.
Okay, this is Trumark's FSX 2000 slingshot with stabilizer and fiber optic sights. So you can line the sights up on each side.
Now this is for the enthusiasts. Some really historical slingshots.
Rubbers. And since the rubbers were strong, it really had to be strong. You had to have a way of bracing it around your wrist. Now here's a dog collar that we took off our dog. That were hooked around the bottom, right? And then we went out and it worked quite well. Right? This one is probably around 60 years old, and we bent it up. The other rod was square, and when we went back to the place where we bought the rod from, he was out of square rod, and he didn't have anything. He says, "Why don't you want to try round rod?" So he says, "Okay." If he wouldn't have been out of square rods, we would have. If he would have had square rods, we would have used square rod again, and this slingshot may have never been invented.
Mark also gave me a lot of gifts, amongst them a bat slingshot that he signed for me. Way too early, it was time to say goodbye. I had to catch my flight. That was a great trip.
Well, Mark, thanks for everything. It was such an interesting trip, and I wish I would have like a few more days to just spend working with you guys.
Well, next time when you come back, if you can tack on an extra day, we'd love to have you back and continue our discussion.
Yeah, great. I'd like to do that. Thanks very much.
You're quite welcome. Have a good trip back home.